What's up again, everybody? This is Jose Gagnon, the super random guy, here again today. And I'm now going to be doing episode 13 of season 7. This one's called Salty's Stormy Tale. So we're going to be seeing the super funny, crazy, salty guy again. The one that loves to tell the stories and loves hanging around at Brendam Docks. He was one of my favorite characters back in the season 6 when they introduced him into season 6. So it's going to be nice to see him again in this episode in the season 7. So hopefully you all are going to enjoy it a lot. Get the greatness, have the amazing happy times, and we're just going to get the keep the things rolling as we usually do here on this channel. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, mans. Keep it rolling now every single day and night, everybody, but mostly on the nights. Let's get this thing started right away now. Yeah. Woo. Yeah, mans.
The engines love working when the sun shines. One day, Thomas and Percy were helping Salty at the docks, but Salty was worried. It may be sunny now, matey, but there be a storm coming. It may be sunny now, matey, but there be a storm coming. There be a fierce storm on the way, Cap'n, peeped Percy. Salty knew they were making fun of him. He felt sad. Later, the Fat Controller arrived. I want you to fetch Fergus from the smelters. His driver doesn't know the line. Aye, sir, replied Salty sadly. Salty was glad he was going to the smelters. He didn't want to stay where he wasn't liked.
But I mean, Salty doesn't really know if, they were copying him to make fun of him, or if they were copying him because, they like the way he talks. So, he's just basically, going with he's just thinking right away that they're making fun of him, and instead of, asking, Thomas and Percy why they're copying the way he talks, Like he just jumps to conclusions that they're making fun of him just because they're copying the way he talks. So I mean, he didn't, if he had asked, why they were, copying the way he talks, he wouldn't have, just pretty much just randomly guessed that they were making fun of him by, them copying the way he talks. So he shouldn't have just jumped to conclusions. But I mean, I guess, sometimes it's kind of hard. We always, end up jumping, to conclusions ourselves. Pretty much, when we're, when we're just hanging around people, because we just don't understand their, what they're thinking sometimes, because we just choose not to ask them, why they do the things that they do, pretty much. So I mean, I kind of feel for Salty, but at the same time, he's just like jumping to conclusions and thinking that, Thomas and Percy are making fun of the way he talks, just because they chose to copy, they chose to copy the same way that he talks, and he's just, jumping to conclusions right away that, they're making fun of him without even asking them, you know what I mean? But let's continue on here and see what's going to be happening in this episode now.
What's wrong? Asked Emily. Nobody likes being made fun of by silly tank engines. Goodbye. Emily knew she had to find Thomas and Percy immediately. Those be dark clouds, matey, whistled Thomas. There be a fierce storm on the way, Cap'n, peeped Percy.
And at least, Emily's being friendly and caring by, telling Thomas and Percy how Salty's feeling, because, he just, I don't know. Like, I don't know why he was thinking that they were making fun of him, pretty much. But I mean, at least pretty much, even though he was jumping to conclusions, at least Emily, decided to stick up, to basically, or not really stick up, but help out Salty and tell Thomas and Percy that, that Salty, was thinking that they were making fun of him pretty much. So, but it's always good to stick up for other people in life, especially when you're feeling down. So we'll see what keeps on happening here. We're just gonna keep it rolling, like I always say.
Emily was cross. It's no nice to copy the way others speak. You hurt Salty's feelings. We were just having fun, said Percy. We'll say sorry to him, added Thomas. But Salty was nowhere to be found. Thomas and Percy were worried. Fergus was waiting for Salty when he arrived at the smelters. Right on time, congratulated Fergus. Aye, but there's a storm coming, said Salty. We must hurry. Soon they were hooked up and on their way home. Salty was right about the storm. It was a fierce one.
So something I never really understood about this season, like mostly like the episodes that have Fergus, because basically, a lot of people that I've watched videos when they talk about the episode, Bill, Ben, and Fergus, which is like the first episode that Fergus gets introduced. One thing I never understood, because in that episode, like how the rocks, fell on top of him, and they, like, when the rocks fell on top of him, they basically like damaged his flywheel. So that's why, he didn't really appear, anymore after season 7. But what I don't really understand is, if his flywheel got damaged, like, why is he in this episode, Salty Stormy Tail? Salty Stormy Tail. I mean, if his flywheel's damaged, he shouldn't be in this episode. Or they should have at least, put Bill, Ben, and Fergus further down, like a little bit later, like towards the end of the season, and they should have used, because there's actually another episode that has Fergus, besides this one and the one we just saw. There's another one called Fergus Breaks the Rules. And I just want to say like what episode that. So that's episode 18. Episode 18, Fergus Breaks the Rules. But I mean, like I said, it doesn't make any sense how they have him in episode 13. And right after his first ever appearance where his flywheel gets damaged, so it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But I mean, I don't know. We just gotta watch Fergus one more time and one more episode, and then we'll never see him again, which kind of stinks. But like I said, they should have just switched the order of the episodes, in my opinion. But let's just continue on here.
The ships at sea depend upon the lighthouse to keep them safely off the rocks. But now there was trouble. The lighthouse lamp has gone out, cried the captain. Salty and Fergus were fighting their way back through the wind and rain. Then Salty saw a lantern ahead. The lighthouse keeper was waiting for him. Our lighthouse lamp has gone out. Our generator has broken. Salty had an idea. Fergus has a flywheel. It could power the generator. Hurry, shouted the lighthouse keeper. Fergus's flywheel was attached to the generator shaft. Without the lighthouse, the ship was steaming towards the rocks. Fergus was working as fast as he could.
At least Salty had that really good idea of using Fergus's flywheel to power the generator, so that was really good thinking on his part. Like I said, though, like even with that first episode that Fergus was introduced, it kind of doesn't make any sense to have, this one right after, Bill, Ben, and Fergus, which is where his flywheel got damaged. But, I mean, I don't know. We're just going to continue on and keep it rolling like I always say here.
Finally, the generator came back to life. The lighthouse beam shone across the stormy sea once more, just in time. Hard a starboard, matey. Salty's idea had saved the day. Fergus worked hard until first light. The next morning, Salty and Fergus chugged back to the docks. They were surprised to see a crowd waiting for them. "Thank you," said the captain. "You saved our ship." "Well done," boomed the Fat Controller. Salty was very proud. "We're sorry if we hurt your feelings," puffed Thomas. "We were only copying you because we think you're grand." "Then say no more, me hearties," replied Salty happily. Now they will all work together and have fun together.
So, at least, at the end, Thomas and Percy apologized for copying, the way Salty talks. But, like I said, he never asked them in the first place, why they were copying him. So he basically just, got upset for no reason. But, I mean, he probably just didn't feel like, asking them because, I don't know. I don't know what was going through his head, to be honest. But anyway, that was episode 13 of season 7, Salty's Stormy Tale. So now we just got, I'm going to be doing episode 14, and after episode 14, we'll have 12 more episodes left to cover for this season. And basically, after I do episode 14 today, I'm going to be taking a little break from the Thomas commentaries, and I'll be going back to them next month, pretty much. Because next Friday, they're gonna be adding some more racetracks to Mario Kart Deluxe for the Switch. So I'm gonna be, I won't be able to do it Friday, but I'll probably do it Saturday. But yeah, either Saturday morning, Saturday night, I'll have a video of me showing off the racetracks in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So hopefully you'll all be looking forward to that. And we're just going to keep it rolling like we usually do. I'll be doing episode 14 right now. It's coming up right away. We'll be seeing one of my most favorite amazing characters of all time in, the Thomas the Train series. Oliver, the Great Western Engine. We'll be seeing him in episode 14. So hopefully you all be super excited about that. Get the greatness. Have the amazing happy times. And, we're just going to keep it rolling like we always do here on this channel, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode coming up right now. Yeah, woo, yeah, man.